And we are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another brand new season of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire Animation Edition, hosted at the Animation Accommodation. This is your host, Ibrahim, aka Mark Brown. And we're back. I'm very surprised with 9 seasons of this show, but it's still going. And we have with us, I think you're going to love the contestants this season. A couple of new faces, a lot of old faces. I think it's going to be a very eclectic bunch, and it should be pretty entertaining and just enjoyable for everyone. Watching and performing, and me for hosting. I get it. I have the most fun out of everyone, I think. And today we have, starting off for our first episode, we have our Disney lover. He has his own Disney podcast, and this guy knows his Disney history. If anyone does, he definitely does. Mr. Wyatt, how are you, sir?
Oh, good, Mark. Thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you so much for coming on. I know as once I knew you had some interest in the show, I'm like, yeah, I definitely have to get him on the next time I do this. And before we could continue, if anyone's not familiar with you, get to introduce yourself and what do you do in terms of Disney and animation wise?
Well, my name is Wyatt. I host a podcast called Disney Reel to Reel. It's actually coming on to its 1 year anniversary in about 2 months. Um, but so far, we have been tackling, well, I guess the original intent of the show was to discuss the various Disney animated films and their cultural value within American society. Um, but unfortunately, I've had to do a bit of backpedaling because of life obligations. Um, uh,
Pesky
and
life.
hey, I know it's the
Mhm.
worst. um, but we're my cousin and I, who is my co-host, we're currently going through the various eras and ranking our favorites and least favorites. And our next episode should be on the Bronze Age. I'll be generous and say that. So,
That is a generous description, generous appellation, definitely. But
but
yeah,
yeah.
thank you so awesome. Thank you so much for coming on the show. And I'll post links to the podcast down below once this video gets posted. And for anyone else who's new to this is a 12 question multiple choice game show about anything even remotely related to the field of animation. As long as Wyatt keeps getting questions right, he goes higher up the ladder. Once he gets one wrong, that's the end of the game, and he leaves with the last number of points for last safe haven. He has 3 lifelines to help him 50-50, gets rid of 2 wrong answers. A phone or friend, if he chooses, he can call someone for help or an Ask the Expert. This season, our expert is Mr. Stanford Clark, the winner of the game show last season. Disney lover, has a podcast, film reviewer. I mean, he's pretty much everywhere. And we've asked him all these questions, so Wyatt can see how he answered, decide if he wants to go with that or not. And if Wyatt gets to 32,000 points, he gets a fourth lifeline, a double dip, where he gets 2 chances to answer a question. The winner who gets the million-point question gets $100 Amazon gift card. If no one gets the million, there's a second round where the top 5 come back to try it again. And if there's still no winner, the winner is whoever has the highest total score from both rounds, and they win a $50 Amazon gift card. And after that introduction, Wyatt, are you ready to play Millionaire?
Oh, I'm so ready.
He's so ready, and I'm so ready to host. So let's do this. I'm going to share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Awesome. Let me just make it bigger. And there we go. And this is your ladder of points. Remember, the yellow ones are your benchmarks. Once you get to those, you can't lose them no matter what. And you can feel free to walk away anytime you want if you'd like. And again, everyone, this is Stanford Clark. Wyatt has already read his introduction. You could pause the video and read it yourself. And otherwise, check out his blogs and movies, past and present, as well as the Animation Fascination and the animation podcast that he's a part of as well. Okay, Wyatt, 500 points. Let's start.
Ooh.
Which of the following best describes the types of powers that Elsa has in the animated 2013 Disney canon film Frozen? Are they fire powers, ice powers, metal powers, or nuclear powers?
Oh, that last one is very dangerous. But I'm pretty solid on the answer. I believe it's B, ice powers.
Nothing's final to say final answer. Is that your final answer?
Yes, sir.
Well, I don't know. Did you get it right? Maybe, maybe not. Your answer is correct. Good job. You got it right. Hey, well, I mean, they're making Frozen 3. Maybe she'll get nuclear powers in the third one. It'll be like Superman 4, where she has to broker a peace treaty between between her kingdom and another kingdom with nuclear weapons.
I don't know. That might be Anna's problem. I'm not sure.
Are you a Frozen fan overall, generally?
um, I've already covered it in the revival rankings of my podcast. The way I have my tiers set in
Mm-hmm.
that recording, I have it set to my shiz, which is like the epic, like favorite movies of all time.
Oh,
Been
okay.
there since childhood, carried on into adulthood. It's been my passion for a long time. Frozen is in the second tier, which is respect and appreciate, because I respect the ambition behind it. I respect the creative vision that went into making it, even though they didn't really hone the story until like 6 months before the film premiered. Um, but yeah, it's still worthy of praise, very
I
much
think
so.
I could agree with that. It's nowhere on my top 15 or 20 favorite Disney canon films, but it like you say, it's I appreciate it for what it is. I like the I like the first movie better than the sequel, but I think the two songs that I love from the sequel I love more than any song from the first film, and those are
Interesting.
Into the Unknown and the I forget it, the Lost in the Woods. Like I love
Mhm.
those two more than I love any song from the first film, even though I think the first film overall the music is better. But that's just me. And then of course the Disney cash cow needs money, so we're getting Frozen 3 sometime.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, Wyatt, you're doing amazing. The next one, the 1,000 points. Have to remind you if you get it wrong, you'll leave with nothing. I don't think that's going to happen. It's never happened before. Don't worry about it. But just have to remind you 1,000 points. Here we go. What do the monsters use to travel to the human world in the animated 2001 Pixar film Monsters Inc.? Is it doors, garbage cans, sewer pipes, or underwater caves? And just to be clear, I'm talking about overall the general thing throughout the movie.
Mm. Well, hmm. I do kind of wish they'd explored sewer pipes, but I know they didn't, so I'm going to eliminate that answer right off the bat. Um, I believe it's A, doors.
Is that your final answer?
Yes, sir.
Well, doors, is that the correct answer? Did you open a door to the right answer? I am so funny. Your answer
But I'm.
is correct. Good job. It's why do you have 1,000 points no matter what you do today? You can't leave with fewer than that. Yeah, the sewer pipes, I guess, that seems like more like a Mario kind of thing that they would do.
Mhm.
But like it wouldn't surprise me if in the Monsters Inc. world, like with the show or whatnot, they would go through garbage cans or something like that. So that's why I just wanted to be clear that overall the general gist of it through the first movie was they're going through these doors.
Indeed. Well, when I thought about sewer pipes, it made me
Mhm.
think of Enchanted when Giselle had to
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
through
I
the
forgot about
sewer to
that.
New York. So I was like, crossover Disney Pixar. Can we make it a thing? Probably not.
Imagine if Giselle bumped into like Mike or Sully in the
Oh my
sewer pipe.
god.
That's a crossover we didn't know we wanted, but there it is.
That's our
uh,
idea. They can't steal it from us.
there we go. Copyright today, right here now. Don't take it, Disney. But this, I think, Monsters Inc. has always been not all well. I guess always since it's been around. It's been my favorite Pixar film. I always like the number one.
Interesting. I feel like this might be a cop out, but I think my favorite is probably Brave.
Okay,
It's either that or probably Coco,
okay, that's a good one to
one of the
choose.
two.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of flip flop. Like I definitely know that the good dinosaur is near the bottom, but you can't deny that it is a visually stunning movie. It's just there's nothing else going on. Um, but yeah, I seem to teeter totter between those two, and I kind of feel like Brave is cheating because it's basically a Disney princess movie. So,
Yeah,
but
pretty much just by a different company, but yeah.
yeah,
But yeah, the good dinosaur I think is pretty much on everyone's bottom list, like you say. But I know a lot of people hate Cars too. But like that's I have a special place in my heart for Cars too. I really enjoy Cars too.
You're the bomb. What?
The
No, no, you are the bomb.
literal bomb. I
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
that from the movie. Okay, all right, you're doing amazing. You have all your lifelines, but let's keep going. We want to get you higher, 2,000 points.
Okay.
What type of animal is Thumper in the animated 1942 Disney canon film Bambi? Is Thumper a rabbit, a fox, a bear, or a toad?
Well, I don't remember him being 7 feet tall, so I think we'll eliminate a bear. Um, my gut's telling me that he is a rabbit.
You gonna go with your gut and say final answer?
Yes, I believe so.
All right, going with the gut. Gut says rabbit. Is it correct? Your answer is correct. Good job.
Got him.
Thumper is the rabbit, the one who thumps, hence the name Thumper. And with I know Disney's planning to do a live action remake, like how they did with Lion King for this one, and I'm very interested to see what that's going to turn out. I don't want it to happen, but I'm very interested to see how it's going to turn out.
I actually haven't heard about anything other than that SNL skit from a couple years ago, which I am all for. Don't get me wrong. Like, I would love to see Dwayne Johnson
Dwayne
as
Johnson as
Bambi.
Bambi.
But if it's anything like The Lion King, I think I'll have to take a hard pass on it.
I don't blame you. Yeah, I just want to see the trailer just to see, wow, just what they're gonna do with it. But yeah, they made the announcement after, like, a couple of years after the SNL skit, which I'm wondering if that's what gave them the idea. But we'll have to wait and find out, or just not care about it, whichever comes first.
Who knows if they'll make a billion?
We get a Bambi 2 remake afterwards. Oh boy. All right, Wyatt, you're doing amazing, and you still have far to go, but you still have your lifelines. 5,000 points. Let's go. Which of the following characters does not appear in the animated 2023 Illumination Entertainment film, The Super Mario Bros. Movie? Is it Donkey Kong, Wario, Toad, or Bowser? See, I don't know. I don't only ask Disney stuff.
I was about to be like, oh, dang it, now you've stumped me. Oh.
But take your time. You have take your time when you have lifelines if you need them. Did you see the movie?
No, I haven't yet.
Okay.
I've heard really good things, so.
So take your time. Which does not appear? You can use a 50-50 if you want, or you could ask Stanford.
Let's do the 50-50.
Okay. Are you leaning towards anything at the moment?
I think it's between A and B.
Okay. So let's do the 50-50 and see what happens. Wario is still there, and Bowser is there.
Okay. That eliminates half my anxiety. So now I feel better in saying that I think it's B, Wario.
Are you gonna make that your final answer?
Yes.
You could use another lifeline if you wanted, but you said final answer. Is it Wario? Do you keep going? Wyatt, your answer is correct.
Yes. Yes. I figured because Wario was like pretty annoying, so. But that's just my opinion.
The movie, I say go see the movie. It's definitely it's pretty. I don't know if good's the right word, but it's enjoyable. It's like as some film reviewer said, you don't play the Mario games for the story. So if you just go into that with this movie, you'll really enjoy yourself. Are you a fan of the Mario games overall?
I've played quite a few as a kid. I know I was obsessed with like Mario Party and crap like that.
Yeah.
But I have kind of dwindled off in like the last like 10 years or so. But this movie, just from the poster, it already looks like it's going to be like a freaking candy box. Like, so it's already visually appealing.
No, definitely, definitely. Like, I've played a couple of Mario games growing up. I'm not nowhere near like a Mario expert or anything, but I enjoyed myself in this movie. So I can imagine someone who's played a lot of it growing up, and they can find all the Easter eggs that I missed and whatnot. But yeah, Wario doesn't appear. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen it. But what I'm thinking is they're hoping this movie made $1 billion, so they're hoping. I mean, I guess they were hoping that if it did make $1 billion and they would make a sequel, maybe Wario would be in the sequel. That's what I'm thinking. But
Oh
what do
my.
I know? How do executives think? I don't know. All right, Wyatt, you had to use one lifeline, but that's what they're for. You still have two left, two Stanfords. I remember once you get to the 32,000, if you get it right, you'll get that double dip. But we got to get there first. 10,000 points. Which of the following comedians was the voice of Mr. Potato Head in the animated 1995 Pixar film Toy Story and its sequels? Was it Don Rickles, Jack Carter, Jackie Mason, or Mort Sahl?
Okay, I'm pretty confident in this. It's Don Rickles.
Final answer.
Yes.
You sounded more confident in the Wario one. Your answer is correct.
Yes.
Don
Of
Rickles,
course. Of
of
course.
course. Like, who else would it be? I'm a huge Don Rickles fan. While he was alive, he was my favorite living comedian until he passed away in 2017. And he's my
Mm.
second favorite comedian of all time. I put him right after Abbott and Costello. They're still my number one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I'm glad they used him even in the fourth film, even though he had died before recording any lines, and they just used like a couple of lines, unused lines from the previous films, but
Mm.
it was still a nice touch. But we're getting Toy Story 5, so I don't know what they're gonna do about that one.
If we must.
If we must, we must. Everyone thought Toy Story 3 would be the end, but nope. Then we got Toy Story 4. Everyone thought that would be the end, but nope. The only thing I could think that could happen is Toy Story 5 introduces the concept of death, like Woody dies or something. That's the only way this is
I
gonna.
mean, I think we were already pretty traumatized by the third movie.
That's true, but now they'll go all the way.
Now let's talk about mortality and your favorite
Mortality.
toys.
We'll pull a sit on you guys.
Also, did you hear the story about it's Will Poulter, he's in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
People if a fan came up to him in a public restroom, I must assume, and they mistook him for playing Sid in Toy Story 1.
I think I
Like,
read
how
that
am I going to
online.
tell them that this
Yeah.
character was animated and that the movie came out in 1996?
He was probably not even born yet,
Fantastic.
or basically, I don't know.
I don't
But
know.
yeah, yeah, that is a hilarious story. I can see the resemblance, but that's about it.
It's
Poor
the
guy.
eyebrows.
Just the eyebrows. Poor guy. She's not the eyebrows guy. It's like I do other things besides having eyebrows. Okay, Wyatt, you're doing amazing. You're two away from the 32,000 and the next benchmark, and once you get to that, you have that no matter what. You still have two lifelines. Let's keep going. 20,000 points. Which animated Studio Ghibli film is loosely based on / inspired by the Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale The Little Mermaid? Is it Spirited Away, From Up on Poppy Hill, Whisper of the Heart, or Ponyo?
Okay, I know that there was a time when people were pretty angry about this movie, and I'm pretty sure it's D, Ponyo.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
You say with gritting through your teeth with some hesitation. Wyatt, is it Ponyo? Your answer is correct.
Yes. Yes.
Look
Yes.
at you just whizzing through these. It is fun. Did you see Ponyo?
Well, here's the funny thing. Ponyo is another movie that I have not seen. I've listened to a lot of other people talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Although keep in mind this was also like 10 years ago or something. Um, but it's one that it's like it's weird. Like I am very curious about watching it, but I just don't give myself the time to do it.
Yeah, it's only so much. There's so much you want to watch, but there's so much time in the day
Indeed.
with work and life and all that.
Indeed. And it's like maybe don't watch like Snow White for like the 700 millionth time. Maybe try something else, But I
Hey,
just can't help it.
if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
For me, Ponyo was the first Studio Ghibli film I ever saw. I always said one day I'll watch a Studio Ghibli film, and then Ponyo was the one I chose. And I never watched anything anime growing up, so no anime shows or anime movies or anything. So this was like my first introduction to it, and Ponyo was just so weird to me. I was like, what the world is going on in this movie? But I'm glad I didn't give up on Studio Ghibli. Then I kept watching a couple more, and I fell in love with Spirited Away, and I am a fan of theirs. But Ponyo was a weird introduction for me to Studio Ghibli.
Yeah, actually, I never watched a Studio Ghibli film. Is it Ghibli or Ghibli? I need to.
I think there's a difference of opinion. I'm not sure how the Japanese pronounce it.
Okay, okay, I'm gonna go with Ghibli for the time being. I never watched a single film until my freshman year of high school. And it was really funny because I was with this friend in an English class, and we kind of there was one time when we did like a film swap between each other, and this person showed me Spirited Away, or rather, she gave me a DVD copy of the film, and in return, I gave her a copy of the MGM movie musical Meet Me in St. Louis.
I see.
Have you seen it?
I haven't seen that one yet. That's also on one of my list of stuff I keep needing to watch, but I never get to it.
Okay, well, first of all, it's another visually stunning movie. Judy
Mm,
Garland,
yeah.
1944, MGM. It's just
Mm,
beautiful. I love all of it. But
Charles Band.
Spirited Away was very much disorienting for me. Very different type of movie.
Can
Um,
imagine.
but it was good enough that I think I asked this person for another one of those films, and I watched Howl's Moving Castle because of them, and I think I like that one a lot. So
Both of those are pretty good. I like both of those. I like Spirited Away more, but Howl's Moving Castle is also pretty interesting. Good. Yeah, but the Speed Me in St. Louis, I gotta get to that one day. It's on my list. One day I'll get there.
okay.
Before I die, we'll see. Okay, Wyatt, you're doing amazing. The next one's your 32,000 points. If you get that right, you will have that. Excuse me, you'll have that no matter what, and you'll get the double dip lifeline. You still have Stanford, so remember that. 32,000. Let's go. By which pet name does Tramp refer to Lady in the animated 1955 Disney canon film Lady and the Tramp? Is it Pigeon, Robin, Chickadee, or Starling?
Hmm. I'm just going to go ahead and say that you're missing one obvious answer, but because this is a G-rated show, I am not going to elaborate. Um,
We'll leave it there.
but yeah, we'll leave it there. We'll leave it there. I'm fine with that. But I do believe that the correct answer is pigeon.
Is that your final answer, Wyatt?
Yes, sir.
Well, you knew it wasn't the other one, so it must have been Pigeon. Your answer is correct.
Yes. Hiya, Pidge.
Congratulations. You have 32,000 points no matter what you do. You can't leave a less than that. And you have the double dip lifeline. So you have 3 lifelines still going up to the million, which is really, really good. So you can sigh a sigh of relief. But yeah, hiya, Pigeon is, I don't think when I rewatched Lady and the Tramp, that's not the only time. That's when it hit me that, oh yeah, he calls her Pigeon. But I feel if I didn't rewatch it, I would not have remembered that at all.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever like I mean, I don't know if I've ever watched Lady and the Tramp with like subtitles on, but for some reason I just never
Oh,
bothered to question like
mhm.
what is he saying?
Oh, okay, you've just heard Pidge and like,
Yeah,
Pidge.
I was just like, yeah, I got it.
Pidge. Nice.
Yeah.
For me, I always watch everything with subtitles, no matter how clear in English it is. I like to read while I watch. So,
Hmm.
especially when watching a musical, so I can, I get the lyrics correct.
Yes, yeah.
Like, I want to know what my Les Miserables is actually saying.
He said, "One more day before the storm."
Storms. S-T-O. Storm. Okay, got it. Next. What did Russell Crowe say?
Well, they were moaning all on this one.
Oh, yeah, that's what he said. I didn't need subtitles for that. Okay, Wyatt, you're doing amazing. You have 3 lifelines still. Will you get to the million? Will this be the first episode ever where someone got to the million on the first episode of the season? Well, let's see.
The suspense is killing me.
Yes, it is. 64,000. Let's go. In which of the animated Ice Age films does the saber-toothed tiger Diego meet and fall in love with another saber-toothed tiger named Shira? Is it Ice Age the Meltdown? Ice Age Dawn of the Dinosaurs? Ice Age Continental Drift? Or Ice Age Collision Course? Have you seen the Ice Age films?
I've seen 2 of them.
Okay. Were any of them by chance the one I'm talking about?
2 of them. 2 of them are on this roster. Yes.
Okay.
Ooh.
Take your time, and you have lifelines if you need them.
Mm-hmm. I don't recall any love interest in Meltdown or Dawn of the Dinosaurs. So it has to be one of the bottom 2. Perhaps it's...
Remember, the double dip is the one that you get two guesses.
Yes. For the first guess, I'll say Continental Drift.
But just to be clear, are you using the double dip?
Yes.
Okay, so you're using your second lifeline double dip. Okay, so you get 2 guesses. What's the first guess you want to guess?
Continental Drift.
Final answer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're using double dip. You get 2 chances. You said Continental Drift. Final answer. Is it correct? Your answer is correct.
Woo!
Congratulations. You didn't need to use a double dip, but hey, it worked.
So, yes.
Yes, they meet in, that's the 4th one. They meet in that one, and then the 5th one, Collision Course, they're still together. Then they made a 6th one, The Adventures of Buck Wild, which technically isn't really a Blue Sky movie. Disney just somehow it's on Disney Plus. I don't know. It's weird. Mm-hmm. But
yeah, I felt like Dawn of the Dinosaurs was like just a good one to end on. I never went back.
The first one's probably a good one to end on too, but yeah.
Yeah, yes.
Ironically, though, the 4th one, the one we're talking about, Continental Drift, this is the one I actually like the best. Like the others, I have a lot of more. I have issues with all of them, but the others I have a lot more issues with. But anyway, you got it right, and that's all that matters.
Wonderful.
You're 4 away from the million. You still have 2 lifelines, which are both at Stanford. So let's see how far we get you. 125,000. You're doing amazing for a debut contestant and for the first episode, just to let you know that. So.
Well.
Which of the following animals does the antagonist Madame Mim not transform into during the wizard's duel scene in the animated 1963 Disney canon film The Sword and the Stone? Which does she not transform into? Mm-hmm. Is it a hippo, a snake, a tiger, or an elephant?
Ooh.
It's a tricky one.
Well, it's like I do remember it. And I guess it is a perk of that sequence. It's like a lot of the designs, the animal designs, are very distinct in my brain. So I'm pretty confident in saying that it's a hippo.
Confident enough to say final answer?
That is my final answer.
Wow. You're extremely confident, and it's been helping you so far. Will it continue to help you? Is it hippo? Your answer is correct.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Wow. Yes, you're doing amazing. And I found this picture online, and props goes out to whoever compiled this. But yeah, these are some of the animals that she transformed into. This scene is actually my number 1 favorite scene in any of the Disney canon films. Like, you had it just
really,
it seems this and the Robin Hood Climax are like my top two, and I go back and forth between which I like more. But right now, this is number one.
Hmm. Yeah, I can understand that. There's a lot going on visually, and the writing is pretty good.
Hmm.
And that affects animation. My goodness.
Definitely, like I've heard animators, I've read that animators look up to this scene as like a like a master class in like character animation
Hmm.
because you have to you have to animate both Madame Mim and Merlin as the different animals that they are, and still make the audience see that they're actually the same characters.
Hmm.
But yeah, so yeah, hippo was not one of the animals. She was a tiger, a snake, chicken, elephant, a couple of other stuff, but and a pink dragon at the end.
Did I say no purple dragons?
Purple dragons. Did I? And then Merlin. I love how Merlin just wins that by becoming a germ.
What was it?
That's
What
not,
was it? Malachasitomoptimosis?
I don't even remember, but yes,
Yeah, something
something
to
like
that effect. Yeah.
that. That's I find that incredible writing, unless that's from the original books that it's based on. But whoever wrote that, like, props to you.
Yeah. Well, actually, I actually have a question. Who
Sure.
animated Mim?
I want to see Frank Thomas, but don't quote me on that.
Okay, I was
I could be
wondering
wrong.
because like her cat design looks a lot like Lucifer to me.
Okay, yeah, I can
But
see. Yeah,
that
yeah.
would have been Ward Kimball or
Is that
John
Ward Kimball?
Lounsbury.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I don't know 100%, but
Okay,
whoever did it, they did a darn good job. One of the nine old men.
indeed.
Okay, Wyatt, here 3 or 50 million. I'm at the edge of my seat here because you still have two lifelines. People don't usually have that by this point. So 250,000, Wyatt. Let's see what this is. What is the name of the Girl Scouts like troop that appears in the animated 2021 Sony animation film Vivo? Is it the beach shells, the ocean waves, the sand dollars, or the seagulls?
Hmm.
Do you see Vivo?
No, I have not.
Great. So
Oh
take
my
your time.
goodness.
You have
Uh,
Stanford. He's the only lifeline left.
hmm. I think I'll give it to Stanford on this one.
Okay. You want to use one of your last two lifelines to ask Stanford? We asked him. He said, "So sorry, but I never saw
Oh,
him." Just like you, he
come
also never
on.
watched this. So here's where you are now. You're at the 250,000. You can take a guess and you get it right, you keep going. If you get it wrong, you leave with 32,000, or you could walk away with 125,000. And if there's a second round, that's a pretty good chance you'll come back for a second round. So those are your three choices.
Hmm.
Are you leaning towards any answer?
I'm trying to just pick the one that sounds the most adorable. Um, right now I am right now I'm just doing my best, and I think my final answer will be D, the seagulls.
Okay, you could have walked away, but you decided to take a guess and go find an answer. The seagulls. If you're right, you keep going. If you're wrong, that's the end of the game. You leave with 32,000. Wyatt, your answer is wrong.
Uh,
I'm so sorry. You leave with 32,000. The answer was the sand dollars, actually. That's what they called themselves.
uh,
It's not a bad film. I thought it it was pretty good for like a direct to streaming film. Like I felt if this went to theaters, it could have made some money, but I'd say it's worth checking out, especially if you like Lin Manuel Miranda's stuff.
which service did it premiere on?
I think it's Netflix.
Oh, then that's why I haven't seen it because I don't have a Netflix account.
Yeah, me neither. I had to like borrow someone to watch this one. But yeah.
Ah,
Wyatt, oh, I'm so sorry. You went far and you went all the way to 50,000, but you're leaving with 32,000. But you played superbly and amazingly, especially for both the debut contestant and the first contestant of this season. So that's something to be very proud of. And if there is a round two, I'll let you know if you've made enough to come back for to be one of the top 5 to come back for round 2. But I had a lot of fun hosting this. And before we go, is there anything else you want to say, or how can people find your stuff?
Yeah, I would like to say that I had a lot of fun as well. I need to brush up on my modern animation. But we'll see how far I get before we get to another round. But anyone who's interested in finding the podcast, you can find me at Disney Reel to Reel. I'm all over like Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, Spotify, Listen Notes, you name it, I'm there. Um, I'm also on Instagram at Disreel to Reel Podcast. Um, anyone who listens to the show and has any feedback, comments, questions that they want to share, they can reach out at disneyreeltoreel@gmail.com. And if you want to catch up on my more personal Disney inklings, you can find me at Golden Afternoon 51 on Instagram as well.
Awesome. I'll try to post links to all those down below once this gets posted. And for everyone, thank you for coming on, Wyatt. I appreciate it. And I had a wonderful time. And for everyone else watching, we've had one contestant so far. He didn't make it to a million, but we have 9 more to go. Will one of them make it to the million, or will we have a round 2? Stay tuned and keep watching. Take care. Bye.
Bye.